If I had to choose one way that would describe how I work, probably my biggest strength is using found objects. I don't know that I can remember the first time I started doing that, but I do remember, you know, the magic that would happen where the object would give me ideas. I went to graduate school in Arizona, and I remember going there and just being blown away by the desert and how exotic it was to me. But then when you would go through town, there were all these little trailer parks that were really cool because they're like from the 50s. Mm-hmm. It's like those trailers don't go away, you know? Right. And I love the idea of you could live in a house with like a racing stripe down the side of it. I mean, isn't that crazy?
That is wild.
Yeah. I also love the idea that they were kind of, at least at the time when I first started making them, they were kind of anti-subject matter, as in like something not glamorous that you wouldn't consider worthy of subject matter. And that's actually a big theme in my work, is kind of making you know, what gets overlooked, you know, kind of bringing that to the forefront and saying, hey, there's kind of a beauty there. These compositions up here, my best way to describe them is visual poetry, I guess. As in just words put together in a way that there's a rhythm and a relationship that happens. There's a story to be told, but it's like not
an implied narrative.
Exactly.
It does give you this like mini landscape on top of the mobile home.
I should say that I have an extensive library of found objects. I take a lot of photographs, and I use photographs as references and as influence. Taking photographs of things, that's my sketchbook. And so when I'm in the studio and I'm surrounded by found objects, I lay a bunch of photos on the table, and you know, you kind of have your favorites. You're like, oh, these are my top 10. And then just something happens, some magic spark starts to happen. Now, once in a while, I'll get a found object and it'll be like immediate, like it just hits you. So sometimes it just goes like a laser beam. There's a magic to that.
There's a sense of flow.
Yeah.
And you enter that state of play.
Yeah, exactly. Play, that's one of the most important words to use. And you know, playing is really just experimenting. People ask me about the cross houses. A lot of the houses, at least in the South, North Carolina, where I grew up, I mean, they are based on that traditional kind of relationship of like churches, where you have this, you know, this long space here and then this space that goes that way. But I love the layered aspect to these, where it's a house, but it's a cross, and I really do see these structures as representations of the people that would live there. I don't really think of that in a very literal type of way, but I like how it implies. And so when you think about who might be living there and what caused this place to be that way, and you know, who painted that color, and you know, who repaired that window, who put that little piece of sheet metal up there. There's a really, I think that's fascinating, that history behind it. The plan is that the work might tell you something over time, like you might react to it when you first see it and purchase it, but then a year later, 2 years later, maybe you're still discovering things about it, and there's always a sense of mystery, or at least I hope that sense of mystery is there. I also do outdoor works. They're these little travel trailers, but they are kind of done as baby carriages. It's kind of a visual pun, but I have 3 of them lined up right now, and so there's that kind of feel of a trailer park. Making that connection with viewers, though, is probably the most important thing. To have someone fall in love with your work, I mean, that's the ultimate. So.